So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rob Moore.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm scared now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. All right, so I was listening to Saj before, and he said that there's kids on YouTube who are, 10 years old, opening toys and make £1 million. That actually isn't true. Ryan, of Ryan's Toys Review, is 7 years old, and they did $22 million on his YouTube channel last year. Little fucking shit. Do you know how long it took me to make $22 million, you little bastard? Yeah, I worked hard for 5 years straight. No fucking food for 5 years. Down KFC, licking people's fingers to eat. Before I became a millionaire. 7 years old. I joke, actually, but to me, that's really inspiring. Really inspiring. And it's a sign of the times. And a lot of people are bitching and moaning, complaining and whining about social media when we don't even know we're born. Like 30 years ago, if you wanted to get your message out to the masses, you had to go and knock on doors. Jehovah's Witness. Fuck off! I did it the hard way. Like, I went to events and spoke to people and smelt their breath. Networking, you know when they back you into a corner. Talked to you for 44 years. Just give me a business card and fuck off. That's how I had to build my brand back in the day. God, and now these kids on social media. Oh, man, but honestly, might be a little bit bitter. I feel like I kind of, in a way, slightly missed that boat. Like, kids don't remember dial-up. I mean, dial-up ruins your whole life. Dial-up. You fucking hamster powering up your internet. Jesus. He's not in there. Kieran, who manages my social media. Just stand up, Kieran. Ladies, look at this fine specimen. He's my bodyguard because of my language. So, do you even remember the world before internet? No. He was born, he slipped out of his mum, did a fucking selfie. Mwah. Spends more time on his hair than my wife. Sorry, Kieran, but it actually is a fact. Anyway, I've got some content to share with you. All right, so I don't do slides, just because I like to do it a bit different. And this is my third Expert Empires talk, and I know many of you come back and you're great fans of Nick and his work. So I don't want to give you the same talk. Nothing wrong with that. My friend Gerald Ratner has done the same talk 1,300 times. Gets paid thousands of pounds to do the same talk 1,300 times. Hat tip to that. I mean, about fucking time, because he fucked up pretty bad. But I do a different talk pretty much every time. So maybe that's a bit unique. So you probably haven't heard some of this stuff from me. I don't have much time. I think I have about 14 hours. So get your pen, paper, iPads, iPhones, devices, and everything out, because I'm just going to hit it at you for the next 55 minutes or so. So the title of my talk, the ink is still dry in my Evernote. And that is content creation, automation, and monetization. So you hear a lot of people talking about content marketing, but I don't think most people know what it means. I really don't. And hey, look, my critics have got a lot to say about me, and there are many mistakes that I make. But if anyone says anything about me, I don't think they can deny I'm pretty prolific. Thank you for the feedback. You can fuck off. Oh, it's you again, yeah. It's my full-time troll. If you haven't got a full-time troll, you're not out there enough. You're not out there enough. I quote, this is one of my trolls. My trolls are poetic. My trolls are more poetic than most people's trolls. Rob Moore is what is known as a dick rider. Dick riding is not an official sport, but were it an official sport, Rob Moore would definitely hop on for a ride. Poets, my trolls. Right, let's have it. So, you don't need me to... Don't film this for your kids. No, I'm only playing you, actually, Can. Do you want to do a live and I'll tell them to fuck off? No. You don't have kids? Oh, that's all right then. I'm only playing. You can. What do you think about the jacket? You don't like it? No. Brave? Thanks, Dad. Right, let's do this. So, I'm going to tell you absolutely nothing you don't already know. My goal for the next 50 minutes is to tell you nothing new. Because most people are looking for new, and new is often a distraction. So I'm going to tell you a load of stuff you already know that makes me tens of millions of pounds. So probably up until last year, the amount of money I've done in sales was about 100 million pounds. I think I have the biggest individual supporters program in the UK. I have nearly 2,500 people who subscribe to my content on the Facebook supporters program. Most people don't even know what that is. I completely fucking forgot why I was telling you that, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is it. I'm not going to tell you anything you do not know. I've written loads of notes, and then when we get about halfway through, I'm going to let you pick some of the content. So I've numbered it. 1 to 18 in that section, 1 to 6 in that section, 1 to 8 in that section, and I'm going to let you pick some numbers, and I'll just share some content with you. Right, so my job is probably for the first half of this talk, not tell you what to do. It is to tell you why you need to do it. Because you do not need me to tell you that you should be putting more content out there. You've heard that since 1985. Gary Vaynerchuk has done a very good job with that. You know that. You don't need me to tell you that. So my question to you is, why are you not doing it? You clearly yet don't understand why it's going to benefit you. So I'm going to spend a decent amount of time convincing you why content marketing or building your own personal brand is worth your time. And I think that's the greatest gift I can do. So the first two things, how many things? Nice and loud. Two, that are a valuable commodity in this day and age is attention and speed. Attention, speed. If you don't get attention, no one knows you. You can have the best product and service in the world. You can be the best public speaker in the world. You go and speak in a dark room in front of no one. You have no speaking business. You have no brand. So attention is important. How do you get attention? Well, there's different ways to do it. Number one is to put yourself out there more. And we can all do that. More speaking gigs, more live videos, more Instagram posts. That's a way to get attention. The second way to get attention is to wear fucking awesome clothes. Thank you, Mum. The second way to get attention is to be a bit different. Now, the good news is you're already a bit different. 30 years ago, if you were fucked up, you got locked away. Now you have 1 million Instagram followers. The world has changed. The world has changed. Okay, and then the second thing's speed. So I was talking to Grant Cardone, was it day before yesterday? I've become quite good friends with Grant, and I think you'll agree from a scale of his thinking, he's right up there with the best influencers in the world. And when you spend time with him, you get the impression that he doesn't feel like he's got very long left, because everything is fast, it's got to be now. You know the saying, done is better than perfect? Is this boring, mate? I didn't even take a fucking fee for this gig. You are a real brave man watching videos in my talk. So done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Why do you want to be perfect? Because you're scared. You're scared someone might criticize your work. Well, it's not a piece of art. It's just a Facebook post. Come on. Mum! I got trolled on Facebook. Jeez. I mean, I know people who've put a post on Facebook and they got some criticism and they haven't posted again. They don't like they're scarred. Try being born in Peterborough, for fuck's sake. So, speed. Done is better than perfect. Get it out there. Start now. Get perfect later. Get it out there. Get it done. I've never done this talk before. This is the first time I've done this talk. Shall I spend 20 years practicing it and perfecting my skill? Or shall I just come here and do the talk? Well, I'll get the feedback. I can make it better next time. I can make it better the time after. If you ask anyone in IT, the software is never finished. It's never finished. So your content, your art, your mentality, your mindset, the reach, the social channels, it's never finished. But it's never even close to finished if it's never started. And honestly, too many people, they're worried about getting started. You figure it out as you go, not before you go. Okay, great. Next thing then is, look, you could get taught ads. And ads can save time, but ads will cost you a lot of money. I'm not going to talk to you about ads. I like to give you as much free content as I can and enable you to leverage all the free platforms before we talk about ads. But when we do ads, we measure click-through rate. We measure opt-in rate. We measure conversion rate. We measure cost per lead, cost per registration, cost per show-up, cost per head, revenue per head, lifetime client value. We measure all those metrics. You can do the same for your organic followers. I would write this figure down because this helps me through the time when I think I'm putting a lot of content out there and I feel like, well, it's just not happening quick enough. And that is, every one of your followers is worth between £1 and £10 per year. Write it down. Every one of your followers is worth between £1 and £10 per year. Depends on your platform. If it's Groupon, it's about 0.00003p. You can come to my next talk. That wasn't even funny. And then for me, LinkedIn is the highest pound per follower. So I know many of you aren't posting enough on LinkedIn. Sam, amazing, LinkedIn, so I won't do any LinkedIn stuff. But you definitely want to be posting more on LinkedIn. I hope Sam told you this. If she didn't, she should have done. The massive advantage you have with LinkedIn is it does not reduce your reach just to your followers like all the other social platforms do. Did she tell you that? Did she tell you that? Yes. You have no fucking clue, do you? Did she tell you that? Yes. I just told you that. I'll take the credit. But you can have my friend Rick, who's one of my clients, Rick Gannon. He's got 5,000 followers on LinkedIn. He just did a post that's had 1.8 million views. If you have 5,000 followers on Facebook, your reach will be 200 or 300. So LinkedIn, it's like a bit of a phoenix from the ashes. Okay, right, next thing is, you never used to get paid 20 or 30 years ago for who you are. You got paid for what you do. Clock in, clock out, do the job, shut up. Not you. You looked upset. Clock in, clock out, do the job, shut up. We don't really care about who you are. We don't really care about what you want. You're a factory worker like everybody else. You're a lemming. Go do your job. That's how it was. And now you get paid to be unique. You get paid to be yourself, express yourself, tell your story. You get paid to do that. That's pretty amazing times. Like 40 or 50 years from now, they're going to be talking about that. Like that was a thing. Because it's either going to start something massive or it's going to change. And they're going to look back. but you could just share what you believe, your opinion, not fact, your opinion, and get paid for it. Paid millions of pounds for it. For me, that's huge. So, your content is your art. Your content is your expression. Your content is your creation. And if you're not putting content out there, you're missing all of that. And your content is your therapy. Like, I get up and drive past wankers who cut me up. I go to the office and some of my staff are fucking around on social media. My trolls are rude and obnoxious. My wife never fucking speaks to me. The dog pisses up my leg. You know, I have a lot of shit that happens every day, which I kind of want to just tell everyone how it is. Because I run a company that does tens of millions and we have 85 odd staff and I have an online brand, I have to keep my mouth shut 95% of the time. And like, if I bottle stuff up and bottle stuff up and bottle stuff up, it's a bit of a falling down moment, if you've ever seen the film. Everything's kind of just normal and Rob's just lost his shit and shot everyone. I knew there was something wrong with Rob. But if you've got a podcast, if you've got a live video, if you've got a YouTube channel, that's your therapy. I get paid to rant. Never used to get paid to rant. Was always scared of ranting. Your content is your therapy. The things that you bottle up, the things that you hold in, the things that you struggle with, the things that you're trying to figure out, the things that upset you, that motivate you, that irk you, that can all be your content. That's pretty cool. I actually have a therapist as well. I just thought you'd feel better if I told you that. So we sit down. Hi, Sharon. Ah, fuck! Fucking fuck! For an hour, and then I give her 45 quid. Same time next week, Sharon. Let's do this. Don't applaud that. And next time I should record it for a podcast. What a genius idea. Content repurposing. All right. Cool. So never before has it been okay to be yourself and package it and monetize it and brand it and put a YouTube channel around it and a podcast around it and some live feed videos around it. What else have we got? Oh, and Instagram about it and TikTok on it. I mean, these kids with hundreds of thousands of followers who are lip syncing. I mean, we laugh. They're the ones that should be laughing at us. What are we doing like content? Just go, no, for 12 fucking seconds. These kids are going to be hiring us. All right, cool. There's a concept that a lot of people don't understand. And actually, I need to tell you this one and be a bit more serious. And it's called fair exchange. And I don't know why it's so misunderstood. But fair exchange is the sweet spot between you giving maximum value, your community, your following, your tribe, your customers, your clients, the world, and you getting fair reward for that value in the form of whatever benefit you seek, ideally financial. Now, if you give a lot of content away and you don't monetize it, that's unfair exchange because it is out of balance, not in your favor, but in the consumer's favor. Your producer, their consumer. So I don't know if you give a lot of your time for free. I don't know if a lot of your customers or your clients or your prospects, I don't know if they take a lot of your time and you sometimes resent them and you sometimes feel frustrated and you sometimes feel like you're running around for everyone else, but you're not making the cash that you want to make. That's because you've taught the world that they can get too much from you of your time and your information for free. Now, the other side of it is, I only, like, if you want your breast signed, it's 50 quid. I don't know why I looked at a man when I said that. And I'm live. That is my dream, by the way. Well, I know when I've made it. Sign some breasts. Just a couple of selfies at the moment. And they make me press the fucking button. Hi, Rob. Will you just take a photo of us? I'm the guru. Leverage. It's leverage. I've forgotten what I was saying. Fair exchange. Thanks, mate. Yeah, so if you charge too much and there's not enough value, that's called a rip-off. If you don't charge enough and you're giving everything away, then you will resent, you will be bitter, you can't sustain your livelihood. So fair exchange is that equal balance. So if I could just give you some examples of how I think it's great to create fair exchange and how I do it might help you. So one thing is, I donate a certain amount of my time for free. I will never ask to be paid for it ever. I do about 15-minute calls a week. Anyone can book them in. The only thing I ask is you don't pitch me for money, but you can pitch me your idea, you can tell me if you're struggling and I'll help you out. I've spent a lot of years mentoring. I think I'm one of the highest paid mentors in the country. It's between 25 and 50 grand to get in any of my mentoring programs, and that's a real price, not an office price, by the way. And I'll never charge for them. And I've had people telling me they're going to commit suicide, and they're still here. And I've had people telling me, I had one lady said, I'm struggling to do viewings because the last time anyone close to me went on a viewing was my husband, and he had a car crash and he died. Yeah. And I had another chap who's in my Facebook supports program asking for one of these 15-minute calls. And he said, my wife and I are really struggling because she got violently raped 2 years ago and we both just can't get ourselves back on our feet. And I will never charge for stuff like that, and I'll be doing that for as long as I can. And I have maybe 850 properties that I own or co-own or manage in my portfolio, and it's those that liberate the time so I can do stuff like that. So a lot of people do have sort of issues with money. You know, most people who have issues with people who have money are people who quit the drink. Grant Cardone said to me yesterday, people only hate on you because they quit what you're good at. And I thought, that is a great way of putting it. I'd never heard it like that before. I try and be quite elegant and balanced and humorous with a lot of my critics and trolls because I think it's good form. But actually, whoever trolled you for something that they're also good at? No one. People who troll you quit at the thing you're good at. I just think that's something to remember. So I'll probably give 15 hours, maybe 20 hours of my week to the world for free. In fact, I'll give you my PA's email address. If you need a 15-minute call because you're struggling and you want to figure something out or you just want some help, email us, she'll book you in. Now, there's obviously a waiting list. You might need to wait a few weeks or whatever. I'll just write her email address down if you want. Don't do it unless you need it. But so it's Katie Morgan Bell, Katie Morgan, Morgan. By the way, I will never communicate with you. This is not a scrape of the room. This is her email address, not mine, and it's only for you if you need help. And if you don't need help, save it until you do. Because you're also helping me, because by the way, it feels really amazing to help people. Really amazing. By the way, though, it feels even better to get paid for helping people. You'll do my calls, will you? Yeah, to get paid. So, Katie Morgan Bell at progressiveproperty.co.uk. Katie Morgan Bell, no dots, no dashes, at progressiveproperty.co.uk. So, like, I lay my head on the pillow, and every night I've got people saying, oh, Rob cares about his money. Rob goes on about his Lamborghinis and his Ferraris and he's a multimillionaire, which I mostly don't, by the way. They just think I do. Oh, Rob's greedy, Rob's capitalist. Someone one starred my book, Money, and said, the only one making money out of this book is Rob Moore, the author, and he's called Rob Moore. Yeah, fucking funny. So do you know how many books you need to sell to make decent money? Like a lot. And I already predicted bellends like this. That's what we call them in Peterborough. I already predicted it. So I donate all the profits, all my profits, because I have to pay my business partner and my wife their share, obviously. All my profits from my book Money go to my foundation. So if you can put your head on the pillow going, do you know what? I give and I help. But there has to be a line where you stop. Because if you give and give and give, what do you teach people to do to you? Take, take, take. And you cannot blame them, but you do. Oh, I'm pissed off with this person, I'm pissed off with that person, they're taking. Well, you gave and gave and gave and gave and gave. So don't get pissed off with them. Just set some new rules. And so for 30 hours a week, 40 hours a week, I'm thinking about how can I build my empire? What products and services can I create under fair exchange? How can I make more money? What can I do differently? Who can I learn from? What mentors can I get? I cannot tell you what it is because I've signed an NDA. But Mark and I, my business partner, right now are backing and forth since yesterday, about to do possibly the biggest deal of our life. It's freaking huge. It's tens of millions of pounds. And that is because Mark and I have continually put ourselves out there for 12 years. So I'm going to talk about the thing that no one wants to talk about next, and that is patience. Patience. How many people are bitching and moaning and complaining that it's not happening quick enough, or giving that up and starting that, and giving that up and starting that, and giving that up and starting that, because it didn't happen in 15 minutes. You would not plant a seed. Go and sit in your shed for a day or two. Have a little check back of the seed. Where's my fucking tree? And they say it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Well, you can't say that because Ryan's 7. So I've got 2 things to say. One, you've got to be a bit more patient. And I say this to me as well because I'm impatient. If you've not got some impatience as an entrepreneur, maybe you've not got the fire as an entrepreneur. So impatience is a paradox because you need it to drive and to grow. But if it makes you stop, start, give up, etc., it's a curse. But that's saying it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. It's now wrong. It can take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You can blow up within 2 or 3 years because of social media, because of the speed of internet. Grant Cardone said this to me yesterday, and I've not articulated it like this, but I really agree with it. You know, we were talking about speed a lot, the pair of us, and how get stuff out, and you can go more global more quickly. And he said, if Mother Teresa was alive, or if Jesus was alive, they'd have to get a private jet now. You can't walk in your sandals and go and have, you know, tens of millions of followers. They'd be on social media. They would be on social media. You laugh, but they would. I follow Dalai Lama on social media. His posts are brilliant. The Dalai Lama on Facebook. That sounds a bit weird. He's good. He knows his shit. He's a good content marketer. He's got a UBS. WTF. All right. Cool. What we got next? We're still on the why, by the way. Right. So I feel like I'm getting rewarded. Don't nick this. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting rewarded for when I used to post and get 8 people comment on my posts, or when I used to do lives and get 15 people watch it, because we all get that when we start. So the Facebook supporter program is very new. Most people don't even know what it is, but it's a paid-for premium content platform that Facebook set up to rival Patreon. Most people in the UK do not even know what Patreon is. But it is fan funding or premium content platforms. Now, 2, 3, 5 years ago, it was like you had to give everything away for free to build any traction. Your content, your IP, it was like, oh, just Google it, everything's on Google. It was like information had become a bit commoditized. I mean, 30 years ago in the 80s, it was completely different. No one opened their mouth unless you paid their consultancy fee. There was no such thing as free content or content marketing. You want my information, you pay me. And it was like it completely cycled to the point where everyone's just got to give everything away for free to build a list or build a following or build goodwill. The tide is starting to turn again. Because people make millions of dollars a year in America on Patreon. Podcasters make millions of dollars a year on Patreon. And Facebook very recently launched their version of that. It's still in beta. And I was fortunate enough for them to choose me to be one of the influencers to beta test this program. So it's been running 3 or 4 months. Who's one of my supporters, by the way, just a show of hands? Okay, cool. You get unique content, access to me. We had a lunch in there, supporters' lunches. I do premium content, ask me anythings. I take content requests for podcasts, etc. You get big discounts on events. You get a lot of free tickets to events otherwise that would be paid. We do supporters-only events. I have just under 2,500 of those in just a few months. That trajectory, in 3 years, I could have 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 supporters. They pay £3.49 a month. You can do the maths. I don't know how long it took me to make my first 8 grand as an artist. Probably 6 to 12 months. And now I have £8,000 a month from the supporter program. But for me, it's not about the money, because I have millions of pounds of income from my properties and businesses. It's the positioning. So, has anyone in this room heard of Facebook stars? No one, because they emailed me yesterday evening to say we've chosen you as an influencer to beta test our new Facebook stars program. So the benefit of building a personal brand, in addition to the reach, the exposure, the trickle-down revenue, the speaking opportunities, etc., is access to all these new paid for and new platforms. Be honest, with a show of hands. Who would have liked to have got in on YouTube right at the start? Okay, cool. Who'd have liked to have got in on Instagram right at the start? Well, of course, all of us would like to have got on all of these platforms right at the start. Why didn't we? Well, only you can answer that. I don't know. But I've made a promise to myself to not say that about every new platform that comes out. Get in at the start. But to get in at the start, write this down, to get in at the start, you have to put yourself out there more. Now, by the way, there are thousands of people in the UK who have more followers than me. I mean, there are millions of people in the UK who have less followers than me, but there are thousands of people in the UK who have more followers than me that Facebook did not invite to do the supporter program. So write this down as well. It's not just about the size of your following. It is, and write these down. Number one is quantity of your content. The world's changed a bit. You know there's the saying, quality over quantity? Not on social media. Not on social media. You speak to Gary Vaynerchuk, you speak to Grant Cardone. They will say quantity over quality. Because quality improves each time. But the more content you put out there, the more you get real-time feedback as to what should be better. What gets more likes, what gets more shares, what gets more comments. So it's a bit of a mind change, but quantity over quality. So I post 3 times a day on Facebook. I post 3 times a day on Instagram. By the way, Grant and Gary post like 9 times, so I've still got work to do. So if you post once a week, you need to be posting once a day. If you post once a day, you need to be posting 3 times a day. So quantity gets rewarded. Also, your impact, the quality of your content. Now, I said quantity over quality. In fact, let me read. I told you not to nick it. Let me see if I can find this. Have you got that Stars email, mate? I would do, but we're doing a lot. Oh, right. But that's your phone. All right. Let me see if I can find it. I've probably filed it somewhere. Because I wanted to read you what they said. Actually, this would be very insightful if I can find it. Facebook stars. I think I might be in here. One sec. Just like go on social media or something. I was watching someone speak, and at the back row there were loads of people just on Facebook, on social media. So there is a downside. Okay, so we are currently beta testing this product with a handful of creators and think you would be a great fit based on your loyal fan base and engaging content. Write that down. Loyal fan base, engaging content. They did not say how many followers. They did not ask for the size of my penis. 12 inches.
I'll write that down.
Yeah, write that down. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That, for me, like, isn't it amazing how sometimes you see little things and you don't even know they're there, and it's in an email, you go, loyal fan base, engaging content. That is a sign of the future of social media right there. So I don't want you to go, I haven't got many followers, blah, 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 don't get many comments, because that isn't what they're saying. And it's important to remember. And remember, every winner was once a beginner, and every master was once a disaster. So all you can do is start now. Okay, right. How are we doing for time? Cool. So, it's probably fair to say now that entrepreneurs and influencers are the new rock stars. They're the people getting all the selfies and the videos. On Strictly Come Dancing last 2 years, there's been a YouTuber competing. Who's that? YouTuber. There you go. Kevin Clifton's one of my clients, by the way. Found me on social media. Listened to my podcast. Bought my books. Now he's a client on my podcast agency, and I mentor him in property. So you put yourself out there, you meet a lot of interesting people. Very interesting people. One of the nicest guys I've ever met. Took me to Strictly a few years ago. I was pretending that it was shit, but actually it was really good. Being cool. I think the first year we were on the 3rd row, which meant we were like semi-important. And then the next year we were on the 2nd row, a bit more important. And the first year, I'm sat there, I've got my wife this side, I've got Justin Rose, the world #1 at the time, golfer's sister's husband sat there, and Justin Rose's sister sat there. And this was the first time we'd properly like gone out together, I would say. It's not like that. It wasn't a ménage à quatre. So I met Margie Rose, who's Justin Rose, world #1 golfer's sister, because she read my book, Life Leverage. I'm in Strictly with the best golfer in the world's sister and husband, and I'm a big golf fan, and my son has played in all the world championships, so like this is a big thing. I'm not a celebrity, I'm not known, I'm not famous. My wife's there, and Kevin Clifton has invited us to go to Strictly, and this guy who's on TV and massive is a guy I mentor because he listens to my books and follows me on social media and listens to my podcast. And this is surreal. This is surreal. And then when they have the breaks, if you've ever been live, it's different to what you see on TV. It's a whole thing. It takes hours, and they're engaging you. It's like a live event, and they're trying to keep you engaged in the breaks. So in the breaks, the judges and the dancers come and mingle and talk to people, but they only talk to people in the front row. And Tess Daly, who I had pinned up all around my dorm at university, pinned up. She's there, of course, and I'm like making out that I don't fancy her at all because my wife's there. Clearly, Justin Rose's sister's husband is doing the same as me because he clearly fancies her as well. So we're like, psh, psh, she's close. Do you get your phone out and take a little photo and look like a freaking perv? Or do you just be cool? So anyway, she looks through and she points. She goes, "You're Rob Moore." And Mike, Justin Rose's sister's husband, goes, "What the fuck?" And my wife goes, "What the fuck?" And she comes over and she shakes my hand, and Kev comes over and we're chatting. "Rob, I'm a big follower of your work. I listen to your webinars. I love what you do. I really want to get into property, blah, blah, blah." So that's the end of my talk, and I don't care what happens in life after this. I'm done. I'm done. It actually isn't. I've still got 15 minutes. Nick, he thought it was. It's not. I've got 15 minutes left. So this is all from social media. I've not been on TV. I'm not a celebrity. It's from social media. It's very powerful. Okay, cool. I've got loads more stuff, but I want to crack on. So, I'm going to give you 3 things that I think will help you put yourself out there and be a good content marketer and build your brand. I'm going to do them very quickly. They're simple. All this stuff is simple. Remember, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. So first thing is, put content out there fast and engage with your community. Engage with people. If you get critiqued or trolled, ask them to expand on their scholarly response. Please, could you clarify what wanker means? It's not in my diction. Now, if you engage with people, the algorithms, this is like quite key actually. If you engage with people and they engage with you, the algorithms will show them more of your content. They will. And number 2, you know if you follow people and they never comment on your comments, you're like, oh, bye. But you know how you feel when someone important replies to you. It feels good. You feel special. You feel noticed. You feel more inclusive. So it's also good for that. Now, by the way, people are always bitching about, oh, I've got loads of critics, I've got loads of trolls, I've got loads of haters. Mum, mummy. The best people for the algorithms are your trolls. If you've ever had a post, and then there's a comment, and then there's a massive fight between a load of people in the subthread, that's what you want. Send the dog and the cat over there, go and have a fucking massive scrap, and come back when I've had 1 million views. Don't even have to do anything. Let it kick off while you're at Blair. While you're at football with the kids. Yeah, there's some shit kicking off on social media. Boom. But I delete it, block them. What do I do? No, just let them go. Let them expand. Let them release. Let them have their own therapy. Right. Next thing then, I told you already, I'm going to say it again because I know a lot of people in this room know it, but you're not going to do it. To know and not to do is not to know. So it is quantity, 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 quantity. Kieran will be live streaming this out to LinkedIn, to Facebook, to Instagram. Quantity, quantity, quantity. Oh man, that's my business partner phoning about this deal. It's the biggest deal we've ever done. I can't, no way, no. You all right, mate?
Hello, Rob.
Yeah, I'm on stage in front of 500 people. Yeah, so can I call you back?
Yeah, but I've got like half an hour or something. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'll call you back in 20 minutes.
Okay, cheers.
All right, cheers. He doesn't give a fuck what I'm doing, does he? Yeah, like, just stop your talk. It's not important. Oh, my life. What is it they say on social media? Fuck my life! FML. Right, this one's big, crowdsourcing. I'm a big fan of crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is going into entrepreneurs group and seeing what entrepreneurs are talking about and getting ideas of their pains and their needs and their desires, what they reach out to, the help that they need, what they seem to be interested in, and voyeuring. Now, a lot of people who don't like putting themselves out there go and watch and collate all the information and then create content around that. Too many people are spending time trying to plan and create content that they think is good that the market doesn't want. And if you want to be quicker, go and ask everyone, what content do you want? 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 I can do that. Bang. Let's do it live now. It's speed. Because if you're not quick, some of your competitors will be. Which is why he's phoning me, by the way, because this deal that we're doing has to be quick. Okay, right. Cool. So I'm not here, actually, to do anything commercial in the way of, like, promoting events or stuff like that. But my company, Progressive, which is Progressive Property and Progressive Success, we do about 850 training days a year. We're the biggest training company in the UK for property and business. And one of our best events is called Business Breakthrough Summit. Now, Nick has given me permission here to talk about that to you for about a minute. And I've done a little arrangement with Nick, which means I can give you a discount if you go and see the guys at the end. But you need to see the guys at the end, and you don't need to do it now. So I just need to give you the basic information. It won't be as big as this, But if you want to learn how to start your business, scale your business, if you want multiple streams of leads, multiple streams of marketing, if you want to build a vast personal brand, if you want to monetize your personal brand, if you want thousands or tens of thousands or even millions of pounds worth of trickle-down revenue, I have 9 income streams. And look, it's not happened overnight. I've built it up over time. I have 9. We'll share them all. Then you might want to consider seeing the guys at the end for the Business Breakthrough Summit. So write the dates down because we only have 1 of these. So whatever device you're on, just write these dates down. These dates are important. If you're getting married on this weekend, cancel it. Weddings can wait. There's only 1 of these events. And it is the 25th and the 26th. 25th and 26th. It's the 20th. I get paid for this. You're laughing at me. This is the 25th and the 26th of January 2020. It's a brilliant event. It will help you start your business, scale your business, and create more income streams and build your personal brand. The thing that I believe is most important in business is what most people get wrong. Most people get this wrong. So I'm going to do a little exercise. I'm going to ask you to write down now what you think the single most important thing in business is. Just write it down. Don't copy anyone else. Just write it down. One thing, one concept. What do you think is the single most important thing in business? More important than anything else. Write it down. Okay, write it down. Now, I need to do this quickly so I won't have a bit of bingo about it. Put your hand up if you wrote marketing. Okay, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. I believe you are right. Here's why. Some people say product. Well, you can have the best product in the world, but no leads. So you don't have a business, you have a hobby, an expensive one. Some people say people, team. Yeah, but if you don't do marketing and you don't generate revenue, you can't pay your staff. And do you know what most people focus on? All the things you've written down that isn't marketing. But if you want to be good at business, you need to be good at marketing. Now, Nick could not run this seminar unless he was good at getting you here. And getting you here is marketing. And you probably got a lot of messages from Nick and other people to get here. Not just one, oh, I'll see you there. But quite a lot of marketing. It might be text messaging, might be direct mail, might be social media, might be live streams. And there are so many good coaches, consultants, trainers. There are so many people who are good at their product and their service. They have a great idea. It really is good. They've spent tens of thousands developing it or training on it. But they either never get told or they don't embrace the fact that you now got to get a load of clients. So if you have a shop, you can have the best clothing in the shop. You can have the best salesperson behind the desk. But if no one goes in the shop, you have no shop. You have a liability. And getting people in the shop is marketing. If you take one thing away from this talk, if it's that, your business is going to transform. And Business Breakthrough Summit, we focus a lot on marketing because I find most entrepreneurs are putting it off or scared. You know, they're scared to send too many emails or messages out in case someone criticizes, or they just want to focus on their product. Your product doesn't exist in a void. It needs leads and clients. So marketing, really important. All right, cool. So what do we got here? I have got here 18 ways to create engaging content. Pick a number, shout it out. 1 to 18. 5. I heard 5. All right. So what everyone's had enough of. Brexit. If you commented on that, everyone's had enough of it now. Labour. Most people in here probably had enough of that. If you comment on what everyone's had enough of and said, look, enough already about this, that, and the other, you'll get good reach and good engagement. Now, some of these that I'll tell you have to be quick. I would just say have an ethical framework underneath it, i.e. actually care about it. Because a lot of people are just trolling people or doing newsjacking just to get lots of likes and comments and shares. But if it's not on brand, it's just a gimmick. So I do this every now and again on something I feel strongly about. Like more and more landlords are talking about Labour and they're hating it. And they're really scared. Like Labour are going to ruin landlording. I'm going to wait and I'm going to wait. And at the apex of it, I'm just going to come in with enough about Labour and I'm going to use it as an anti-position. Okay, cool. Pick another number. 9. You're all like, I really want to, but you have no fucking idea what it is. Okay, 9 is topical debate with questions. A little note to all the hippies, what do you think about eating meat, question mark. Okay, a bit simple, but you'll get a load of comments on that. I just watched the new documentary Game Changers. Bit of pseudoscience there, what do you think? Do you think actually we probably need meat in this country? Blah, 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 blah. I'm just giving you a random example. But create topical debate and make sure you ask a question at the end of it so people have been given permission to comment. Okay, one more number. 2! Should have said 12, you should have done. 12 is rants, by the way. So you know that one, so I'll give you 2 for the price of 1. That's how I like to treat the ladies. I sounded like a dirty old man when I said that, didn't I? In this bondage jacket, I know what you're thinking. Paid $3,000 for this bondage jacket before you troll me. All right. So number 2, I think this is really good for beginners. There's so many people, I've not really got anything to say, I don't feel credible, blah, blah, blah. This is good. And it's called, This is What I Did, This is What I Learned. So I just went on a property viewing today. Waited half an hour. Agent turned up late. Didn't have the keys. Waited an hour. Went in. Vendor was pissed off. Looked like they're a bit of a hoarder. Blah, blah, blah. Here's a couple of, as long as you've got permission, pictures or videos. People love commentary behind the scenes. They love to see things. So instead of not putting any content out there because you're worried that people won't think you're credible, just tell them what you did. A lot of the big influencers say, document, don't create. I would say document and create. But document is, this is what I did, and this is what I learned. If you just say, this is what I did, oh shit, I think it might be attached. Yeah, it's attached. Fucking hot. Look at me and my dinner, motherfucker. No one really cares, do they? I don't know why anyone thinks it's good to share your dinner. Or the airport you checked in. So a lot of people are like, look at me. And honestly, okay, if you're Kylie Jenner, they're interested. If you're David Beckham, they're interested. But if you're trying to build a brand, they're not interested. What they are interested in is, this is what I did and this is what I learned doing it, so you can get the lesson through me. So anytime you think, oh, I want to just tell them something I'm doing, give them a lesson. And then you win. All right, cool. I've got another 18. I'll tell you what, Nick, where's Nick? If I could have your permission, all this content I've written down, maybe I'll give to you and you could send to everyone? Yeah, cool. Because there's loads and... Always a pleasure, never a chore.
Actually, hold on a sec. Let's make sure that actually happens. Where's Adam? Because I won't do it. I'll forget.
Yeah.
So, Adam, if you're here, or somebody tell Adam that he's going to need to send that out for us on Monday.
All right, so I'll give it to one of your team, and then you can send it out when you're ready. Cool, because I've got another 15 of those. Okay, next then, I've got 8 things that you can do to really spice up those 18 things. So how do you get your content and spice it up and get it more viral and get it shared, etc.? I have lots of posts on LinkedIn that get millions of views, yet I have about 50,000 followers. So it doesn't equate, because I kind of know how to work the system. So there's 8 of them. Someone at the back, pick a number nice and loud. 4. 17 out of 8. Nice one, mate. Are you the Dick Rider troll, by any chance? All right, number 4, spark emotion. Spark emotion. I've been asking people how were the talks, because I haven't been here for a lot of them. What are the things that people have told me about the most? Sam's story and Andy's story about his son, because they sparked emotion in you. People will forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So use your post to spark emotion. I made a post about a Down syndrome chap who's about 50-odd, and he saw his dad for the first time in ages. He's just coming down an escalator, and he just hugged his dad. 1.5 million views. Because it sparks emotion. Okay, cool. I'll do one more on that. We'll go over this side. You speak English on this side? 2. Okay, a day in the life of. This only really works if people are actually interested in your day. So that was why I thought about doing another one. So if you're not known yet at all, no one really cares about your day. And if what you do in your day is boring as fuck, no one actually cares about your day. But as soon as you're interesting to them, or you've got a loyal follower, they're well interested in what you're interested in. So I'll do one more. Number 6 then, pick a side. I love iPhone. Android are shit. Don't judge me, I'm not saying. But look at the judgment. Listen to the judgment in the room. You judged me. McQueen, not Primark. I've fucking had enough now. Right, I'll give you one more of those. Make people laugh. There you go. People love to laugh. So make people laugh. Now, I learned something about myself and about why people share stuff on social media. And for me, this was a massive revelation. And I've been doing this 12, 13 years, so the revelations aren't as common as they used to be. But you don't share something because you like it. You share something because you want other people to think good about you sharing it. And that's a massive difference. You're almost making a statement of who you are by sharing a video. I'm going on and on about McQueen all day on my podcast and everything because I think Alexander McQueen was a fucking legend. I love his art. I love what it was about. He struggled. If he was alive today, I'd give him a hug. I'd want to help him. I love his fashion. And I just want you, honestly, when I talk about him, I want you to think I'm kind of cool. Thank you for the one person that said I am. For the rest of you, you can't come to any of my events. But I'm being honest. Like when you share stuff on your social media, you want people to think highly of you. So what you do is you post stuff that makes other people look good. If you do that, your shares are going to go wild. So it's just something I learned. There you go. Cool. All right then. How to monetize your content. How many have we got? How many have we got? We've got 8. So at the back in the middle, pick a number. 7. Do mentoring and run masterminds. Probably the lowest margin, quickest way to get a product to market is to mentor or run masterminds on what you already know. I'm guessing someone's already told you that. Has someone already told you that? Hello? Yes. All right, cool. Well, you picked it. Blame me. I didn't see him. So I probably mentor or mastermind. Mastermind, 12 people in a room, 24 people in a room. Mentor one-to-one. Mentored hundreds of people. I've made millions and millions of pounds in mentoring and masterminding. Now, of course, don't go and mentor or mastermind on something you know nothing about. Obviously, that's not credible. But you've got a story. You've lived your life. You've got a product. You've got a service. You've got experience somewhere. And I'd like to say one thing about where I think the masses make mistakes. And conventional wisdom says, if you want something doing properly, do it yourself. I think that's really bad advice. I bought this jacket. There you go. If you want something done well, find someone who's already done it and learn from them. They don't teach you that at school. But common sense is often not common. So, it's probably a good advertisement for you to look at getting mentors and masterminds, and certainly Nick's mastermind is one of the best out there. But there's someone out there that needs your help. There's someone out there that's struggling, doesn't know how to do what they're doing. You could do an online mastermind for in the low thousands. You could do a face-to-face mastermind for a few thousands. You could do one-to-one mentoring for many thousands. I have one program called Inner Circle Mastermind Elite. We have 44 members across 2 groups, and they come to my house, and we mastermind in my living room. Don't have to go anywhere, no overhead. 0 overhead, other than my time. So it's a great way to monetize your social media. So that was number 7. I'll pick one more. 3. It's a bit of a crap one. I'll do number 4 if that's all right with you. Thanks, Dad. Well, 3 was running ads on podcasts and YouTube videos, etc. I make quite a lot of money out of that, but you need a big following first. Joint ventures and collaborations. So as I think about it, Nick and I have made, like, in the millions turnover, top line, not necessarily profit, in joint ventures we've done together. This is a joint venture or collaboration between Nick and myself. So there's the proof. But you could go to YouTubers and podcasters and influencers and people with 10,000 followers, not 100,000 or 1 million. Hey, would you like to do a collaboration? So I'll often go to people with similar following, or sometimes higher or sometimes lower, and I'll say, would you like to do a joint podcast where we do the content together? Let's say I was doing it with Tom, who's going to be here later. We'd have a conversation rather than an interview. He'd publish it on his podcast, and I'll publish it on mine. And through his podcast, I'm going to get a load of new listeners. And through my podcast, he's going to get a load of new listeners. So think collaborations with YouTube, with Facebook, with live videos, with interviews, with content, with podcasts. Now, I used to think, well, if you don't have much of a following, then how do you do that? I was a student of Chris Howard. I did Chris Howard's courses way back in 2006. And I approached the promoters and I said, look, we've got a new book coming out. I will give you the most glowing case study because I've got really good results, and you can use it across all your media if you'll send an email to your database selling my book. They had 60,000 on their database, and back then, that was big numbers. Like open rates would have been 30, 40%, now they're 8%. And they went for it. And they used me as a case study, and we sold thousands of books. And then when people bought the books, they came to our events. I think Saj talked about funnel. And I was punching well above my weight. So it's just about your creativity in terms of doing joint ventures and collaborations. So something to think about. All right, I'm almost done. 2 more things. So 1, a lot of people on this event, I am sure, I certainly heard Saj talk about it, are talking about legacy. What is your legacy? Well, I believe that social media is an enabler and an accelerator of living your legacy now. And I believe building a personal brand, it's not waiting till you die to see how you're remembered. It's building it, living it, sharing it. And you get to talk about what you want to talk about, your passions, your professions, and merge them too, your vocation with your vacation. And I've got 3 sisters. And one of my middle sister, her husband Nigel, was the biggest football fanatic ever. Supports Swindon, that's where he's from. Played all through the ranks in the first team, wanted to be a professional. Every time you got anywhere near him, it was football, football, football. But it wasn't like annoying. It was like when someone is so passionate about something, their fire burns you. That kind of person. And I love seeing him. And in the early stages of his professional career, he got quite a bad injury. And he had to retire very young from football. And by the way, assets, multiple streams of income, social media, your social media following are an asset. That is why they're vital to build, because you never know what's going to happen to you. So anyway, then he got a job at Marshall Jaguar down there, a massive factory. And because they live Plymouth way, between Swindon, Plymouth. It's always a long trek. And I'd only see him once or twice a year through those 20 years of his life. And every year I saw him, it was like he aged 10 years. He got more bitter, more twisted, more downtrodden, more resentful. And in the end, it wasn't really that much fun being with him. And I remember a couple of times my sister saying, I don't know if I can, this is hard. I've lost my husband. I don't know what's up with him. And then I got a phone call from my sister. And she went, I'm pregnant. And immediately, Nigel, my sister's husband, grabbed the phone and went, it's a boy. And Elaine grabbed the phone back and went, we don't know that yet. And he went, we're calling him Alex. 9 months later, Alex was born. And of course, he wore Swindon baby boomers, probably nappies, which is probably quite appropriate for that football team. And all of a sudden, the old Nigel, the Nigel we love, is back in the game, kicking football with header in the football when the kid can't even move. And all of a sudden, Nigel's back. We've got him back. And Elaine's like elated. 2 years later, almost to the day, she phones me again. I'm pregnant. Nigel grabs the phone. It's a boy. She grabs the phone. We don't know that yet. He grabs the phone back. We're calling him Joe. And Joe, male Joe. I think they chose Alex and Joe because they're unisex names. That's my theory anyway. So then Joe is born. And both Alex and Joe, they're 3, they're 5, they're 6, they're the best kids in the county at football. Nigel's managing all the teams, the under 5s, the under 7s. And we've got our brother back because he's a brother. That's how I see him. And those are only kind of half, if you like. And I get a third phone call. Nigel's got cancer. And I never saw him again. We didn't get down in time before he died. He died really fucking quick. And I don't regret many things in my life, but not getting in the car immediately and getting down there. 5-6 hour drive? I regret that. And he was 40 something. I'm 40. And so we're driving down. It's summer, his funeral. It's really hot, really stuffy. And I'm thinking about Nigel and what's going to be said at his funeral. And I really felt like there were two Nigels. The football Nigel and then the Nigel who sold his life away for 20 years and hated his life. I didn't really know how he was going to be remembered. And we get there and we hustle in. There's actually not many people at the funeral, which is sad in and of itself. And Elaine goes up and does a speech, eulogy. And she's doing really well, and then she breaks down. And you kind of just wait, and you guess those things are quite normal. But this wasn't normal because there was a very long pause, and she was looking above us all. And the back of the church was all glass. And it was almost like everyone turned round on cue, and there must have been 500 kids trying to wrestle their way, not to get in, but just to see. And they went back for almost probably as far as this room. The kids had their football kits on. The kids are stood in their team formation like there's going to be a team photo. And a lot of these kids played against Alex and Joe and Nigel's teams. And it was in that moment that I knew what the word legacy means. And thankfully, Nigel was remembered for the part of his life where he was passionate, he was alive, and he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. But I think we all have this fork in the road. At any time, we could go down that 20-year route where we're just 20 years have gone, and who am I, and where did I go, and what happened to my life, and how did I lose everything? And I'm confused, and I'm lost. And I've got no business, and I'm in a shit marriage, and I've not made anything of my life. Or you take the other side of the road, where you do what you love and love what you do, and you turn your passion into your profession and your vocation into your vacation. And you have a choice. You always have a choice. Nigel didn't think he did. Took him 20 years to get back on the horse. But you have a choice. Now, people are often saying things of me like, you seem to work so hard and, you know, you seem focused and whatever they say that kind of makes out that I get a bit of a thrill out of what I do. And the simple answer is it's because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I love what I do. I get to do it, not I'm supposed to do it. Like how many people get to do what I do here? Not many. It's a privilege. It's a real privilege. And I feel it every day. And I wake up every day, and I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know that. And I know I'm going to have hard times. But I also know I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. And I can tell you what, when you find that day or that week or that month where you go, I know I'm supposed to be doing this, fucking hell, that's liberating. That is liberating. So, there's the inspired Nigel. There's the 20 years in the doldrums, Nigel. You take the pick which one you want to be. But don't wait till the end of your life to write your legacy. You write it every single day. And I will never forget Nigel. And the only regret I've got in my life was not getting in the fucking car. And I always remember that. So if I'm on the fence, get in the fucking car. If I'm a bit worried about it, I'm a bit scared, just go fucking do it. Do it. You're probably going to regret more not doing it than doing it. Take a chance. So yesterday, on a podcast live, I messaged Kevin Clifton and I said, will you give me Tess Daly's number? I fucking did it. Listen to this, you don't believe me. I did it live on a podcast. Hundreds of thousands of people are going to hear it. Where is my WhatsApp?
So I'm currently doing a live podcast and a mastermind, and if you listen to this podcast, you know exactly why I'm doing this, to challenge myself. But you remember the first Strictly where Tess came up to me and she is pretty complimentary of me, etc., and I haven't been in touch with her since. So would you mind just putting us in touch somehow?
Oh, how jealous hands clap. That scared the shit out of me. Just saying, did it anyway. All right, cool. So my time is up, but I have one more thing. And that's a little bit of an opportunity. So if you could all get your phone out right now, most of you have got it out already, and put your phone in your hand. I have a little sweet offer for you. And that is, if you go onto Amazon or Audible, do it now, go onto Amazon or Audible, and pick up one of my books. I'm going to do something special, probably for 40 of you. I mean, everyone can buy my book, but for 40, I've got a special gift. So I'll just let you find Amazon or Audible, whichever one you prefer, whichever one you use. And just search my name, Rob Moore. You might want to buy Start Now, Get Perfect Later, because that's about getting out there. You might want to buy Money, help you make more money, Life Leverage, about leverage. Search my name and go and buy one of my books on Amazon now. And for the first 40, forget the discount. And by the way, this event is like £1,000 pretty much. For the first 40 of you, I'll give you the Business Breakthrough Summit. Not for £1,000, not for £500, but completely for free. And this is what you need to do. Done? Okay, so go see the guys at the back. So for the first 40 of you that do it on your phone and go and show the guys at the back, another one, go, another one, go. Do it on your phone, screenshot it, show them, that's all you need to do, and you can get a ticket to Business Breakthrough Summit. So you can see quite a lot of people going. Go and buy it right now. Go and see the guys at the back. If you're having any problems, just screenshot the book, and I'll trust that you'll buy it afterwards. I trust you. Don't screw me out of the 20p that I get. So Amazon or Audible, any one of my books. My name is Rob Moore, which my critics find funny. Screenshot it. Go and show the guys at the back. First 40 will give you tickets to Business Breakthrough Summit. If there's more than 40, if we do another date, I'll book you on another date, so you can still go and see the guys. Nick, I'm done. I'm sweating. I'm hot. I'm done. Oh, you're there.
I'm here.
Thanks,
Yeah, I know you do.
Yes.
Rob Moore, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.